we need to embed this into app.js. So let's bring it in. So component slash layout slash alert, and say alert. Now where we want to put this is within the container, but above the switch. The switch can only have routes in it, so we can't put it in there. So we're just going to embed it right here, like that. Okay, so let's check the terminal here, make sure there's no... Okay, so map state to props. I don't think we actually added that to connect. So let's go to our alert component. We created map state to props, but we're not doing anything with it. So remember, connect takes in that map state to props. All right, so we'll save that. Now, if we had any actions to call, that would go second, just like we did in the register. If you look in the register connect, we didn't have any map state to props. We just had an action. Okay, so let's try it out. We'll go back here and let's do a failed match password and see what happens. There we go. Passwords do not match. So hopefully this makes sense. What's going on, I'm just going to kind of reiterate this in case you didn't follow everything. So in our register, we brought in connect so that we could work with Redux. We also brought in the set alert action. All right, now down here we have to export connect with, we have to add that set alert action in order to use it, and then it's available within props. So we destructured it here, pulled it out of the props, we called it when the passwords don't match, and we sent the message and the alert type. Now set alert, if we go to the actions file, that's what's being called. We sent the message and the alert type, we generated an ID, we dispatched set alert with the message alert type and ID, and if we go to the reducer, we added that to the array, and we saw that within Redux DevTools. Now the alert component that we just created is getting that state. We're mapping state to props, getting the alert state, putting it inside a prop of alerts, okay, destructuring it up here, passing in alerts, making sure it's not null and then it has something in it. And if it does, we're going to map through them and we're going to output a div with the message and the styling based on the alert type. Hopefully that is a decent explanation. Now, if I keep doing this, we're going to keep getting that error. So now we have to think about, well, how do we get rid of these? Because all we've done is set the alert. We do have a remove alert type and action in our reducer, but we need to trigger that somehow. Now there's different ways we could do this. We could create an X button here. What I'm going to do is do a set timeout and just wait a certain amount of seconds and then clear the alert or remove the alert. All right, so we're going to go back to our actions file, and we're just going to, like I said, after a certain amount of time, we'll go ahead and dispatch remove alert so that that will go away. Let me see. So we're gonna go under the dispatch and let's do set timeout, which is just a JavaScript function. It'll just do something after a certain amount of time. It takes in a function, so I'm going to put an arrow function, and then we're going to call dispatch, and we're going to dispatch an object with a type, and the type is going to be this time remove alert, and the payload is just going to be the ID. Okay, we only need to send the ID. Now the second parameter to set timeout, so we have the function, and then the second parameter is the time we want to wait. So I'm going to do 5,000, which is 5 seconds. All right, and then so after 5 seconds, it's going to dispatch remove alert with an ID as a payload, and if we look in the reducer, it's going to just filter out that payload. Okay, it's going to match that ID, or it's saying as long as the ID doesn't match the payload, then return it. Okay, so it'll return everything but that. So let's make sure we save this action file here, and let's try it. So we'll go back and screw the password up here, the match, and register, So after 5 seconds, remove alert. I just pointed to the screen to try to get you guys to see this. But now you can see that there's a remove alert right here. Okay, because it was dispatched 5 seconds after we set the alert. So now, if for some reason, you know, we keep clicking this, after a few seconds, each one goes away. All right, so I know that the whole logic of this, interacting between actions and reducers, and I know that's complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's really valuable, and you can really you know, make things very interactive. So it's pretty cool. All right, so I think that that's good. I think one more thing I'd like to do is have the option to, when we call set alert, like inside register, I want the option to pass in the time. Like if I wanted it to be 3 seconds, I want that option. Although we probably won't do it much, I still want to be able to do it. So in set alert, let's add timeout as a parameter, but we'll set a default of 5,000, and then we'll just replace 5,000 down here with timeout, like that. All right, so I know that was quite a bit, but now we have an entire alert system set up. So anywhere at all where we want to call the alert, we can simply call that action, and it doesn't have to be from a component. If we're in another action file, like let's say for profiles, we can simply bring that in and we can call set alert from here. So we can do it from absolutely anywhere. All right, so hopefully that made somewhat a bit of sense. As we move along, you know, you'll get more comfortable with reducers and actions and all that stuff. All right, so I will see you in the next video.